Part 4, Transforming Pain into Wisdom, Finding Meaning in Adversity. In the previous parts, we explored the power of impermanence, the law of karma, and the importance of letting go of attachment. Each of these teachings guides us toward living a more peaceful, mindful life. But there's another important aspect of Buddhist wisdom that can truly transform our lives, especially in times of hardship: the ability to transform pain into wisdom. Pain is an inevitable part of life. Whether it's emotional, physical, or mental suffering, we all face moments where life feels overwhelming, unfair, or even hopeless. But the Buddhist path teaches us that suffering does not have to define us. In fact, suffering can become a powerful tool for growth, if we are willing to face it with the right mindset. Instead of seeing pain as something to avoid or resist, Buddhism invites us to ask a profound question: what can I learn from this? When we approach hardship with this question in mind, we begin to see that every difficulty, no matter how painful, is an opportunity to grow. This shift in perspective is the key to transforming our suffering into wisdom. The wisdom in adversity. Life's darkest moments often carry hidden lessons that we may not be able to see immediately. But if we are open to the experience, those lessons will reveal themselves over time. Think about a time when you went through a challenging experience, perhaps a heartbreak, a loss, or a failure. In the moment, it probably felt like the worst thing that could have happened to you. But looking back, you may have seen how that experience shaped you, how it taught you resilience, or how it led you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Often, the most painful experiences are the ones that bring us the greatest growth. Buddhism teaches that every moment of suffering is an opportunity to wake up. It's a chance to look deeper within ourselves, to confront our fears, our attachments, and our insecurities. Suffering invites us to ask difficult questions. What am I afraid of? Why do I feel this way? What is this pain trying to teach me? Instead of viewing pain as something to avoid, we can learn to approach it with curiosity. When we are willing to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, we allow ourselves to heal. We learn to see pain as a teacher, one that shows us where we need to grow, what we need to let go of, and how we can evolve. The Zen approach to adversity. There's a famous Zen story that beautifully illustrates the idea of transforming pain into wisdom. A young monk went to his teacher and said, "Master, I have been practicing meditation for years, but I still don't understand why suffering exists. Why do we have to endure so much pain in life?" The master smiled gently and told the monk, "Go to the kitchen, fill a bowl with water, and bring it to me." The monk did as he was told, but as he was walking back to the master, he stumbled and spilled the water everywhere. He was embarrassed and apologized to the teacher. The master simply said, "That is the nature of life. We may try to carry our suffering carefully, but it can spill over in unexpected ways. It's not the spill that matters, but what we choose to do with it. Do we get upset and let it define us, or do we wipe it up and continue on?" This story is a powerful reminder that suffering, like the spilled water, is inevitable. But how we respond to it is entirely within our control. Do we let the spill ruin our day, or do we clean it up and move forward? In this way, suffering becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness, patience, and acceptance, turning suffering into compassion. One of the most transformative teachings in Buddhism is the idea that suffering, when understood deeply, can be a source of compassion. When we experience pain, we can use that pain as a gateway to greater empathy for others. We begin to understand on a deep level what it feels like to suffer. And as we heal from our own pain, we develop the capacity to help others who are going through similar struggles. The Buddha himself said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This teaching encourages us to cultivate compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. When we allow ourselves to feel our pain without judgment or resistance, we can open our hearts to the suffering of others and offer them the same compassion. In this way, suffering becomes a bridge, a way to connect with others on a deep and meaningful level. Rather than isolating ourselves in our pain, we can use it to build a sense of shared humanity. We realize that no one is immune to suffering, and that by supporting one another through hardship, we can create a more compassionate world. The power of reflection and insight. Buddhism encourages us to take time to reflect on our suffering and the lessons it carries. Through mindfulness and meditation, we can create space to examine our pain and gain insight into its causes. Often, suffering arises from our attachments, our desires, or our resistance to change. By examining these roots, we can begin to free ourselves from the cycle of suffering and move toward peace. In meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. We learn to witness our pain rather than becoming consumed by it. This practice of mindful reflection helps us gain clarity and wisdom, allowing us to see our suffering from a more detached perspective. We begin to understand that pain is a natural part of life and that it doesn't define us. It's simply an experience, one that we can choose to learn from, grow through, and eventually let go of. A shift in perspective from suffering to growth. One of the most profound shifts that Buddhism offers is the ability to transform our perspective on suffering. Rather than seeing it as something negative or destructive, we can view it as a powerful teacher. This shift in perspective doesn't mean we ignore our pain or pretend it doesn't exist. It means we approach it with an open heart and a mind ready to learn from it. Every time we experience pain, we are presented with an opportunity to grow. We learn more about ourselves, our limitations, and our strengths. We discover new ways to cope, to heal, and to become more compassionate. And as we heal, we gain wisdom that can be passed on to others, helping them navigate their own struggles. The role of mindfulness in transforming. Pain mindfulness is one of the most powerful tools we have for transforming suffering. By being fully present with our pain, we stop fighting it. We stop trying to push it away or numb it. Instead, we embrace it. We observe it with curiosity and compassion, allowing it to move through us without judgment. In the practice of mindfulness, we learn to be present with all of our emotions, including pain. We stop identifying with our pain and instead recognize it as a temporary experience. We learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. This detachment gives us the space to heal, to grow, and to transform our suffering into wisdom. Part 5, the power of mindfulness. Living fully in the present moment. In the previous sections, we've journeyed through the teachings of Buddhism, learning about impermanence, karma, attachment, and the profound wisdom that can be found in moments of suffering. Now let's dive into one of the most practical and transformative aspects of Buddhist practice: mindfulness. Mindfulness is often discussed in spiritual circles, but its power extends far beyond just meditation sessions. It's a way of living, a way of engaging with the world, and a tool for finding peace and clarity no matter the circumstances. In essence, mindfulness is about being fully present in each moment, observing it without judgment, and responding to it with awareness, intention, and compassion. But why is mindfulness so important? Simply put, it's because we often live our lives on autopilot, constantly caught up in thoughts of the past or the future. We worry about what's coming, regret what's already passed, and forget to truly experience the moment in front of us. Mindfulness is the antidote to this distraction. It teaches us to slow down, to breathe, and to pay attention to the here and now with full presence and awareness. Living with full awareness. The present moment is all we have. One of the core principles of mindfulness is the understanding that the present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, and all we have is right now. Yet, how often do we miss the beauty of the present because we are too busy thinking about what has happened or what might happen? Mindfulness asks us to shift our focus from what we can't control to what is happening right now. It teaches us to stop and notice, whether it's the sensation of the ground beneath our feet, the sound of birds in the trees, or the warmth of the sun on our skin. When we slow down and really pay attention, we realize that life is full of small, beautiful moments that we usually overlook. Imagine you're drinking a cup of tea. Instead of rushing through it while thinking about your to-do list, mindfulness invites you to be fully present with the experience. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Notice the aroma of the tea. Savor the taste as it flows through your mouth. When we drink tea with mindfulness, we don't just drink tea, we fully experience it. And this is true for everything in life. Whether we're eating, walking, working, or talking with a friend, mindfulness encourages us to engage with the present moment in its fullest form. The art of letting go, mindfulness, and non-resistance. Mindfulness is also deeply connected to the practice of letting go. So often we resist our experiences, wishing they were different or
Create a
trying to control them.
5-minute calming
This
meditation
resistance
music
is a
with
source of
soft
suffering. Mindfulness teaches
ambient
us to accept
sounds,
things as they are, without
including
clinging
gentle
or
to
pushing them
dancing
away.
and bowls,
When we are mindful, we can observe our
rain
thoughts and
sounds,
emotions without becoming attached to them.
and soothing
We can feel
chimes.
sadness, anger, or
The
frustration
tempo should
without
be
letting those
slow and
emotions define
consistent,
us. Instead of
with
trying to
natural
control or
sound
suppress our
effects
feelings, we allow
to
them to come
create a
and go naturally.
peaceful
Just like
atmosphere.
clouds in the sky, emotions pass when we don't try to hold on to them. This doesn't mean we suppress or ignore our emotions. It means we meet them with acceptance and openness. We feel them fully, but we don't let them control us. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to develop the ability to respond to situations with wisdom, rather than reacting out of fear, anger, or attachment. This is where true freedom lies, in the ability to meet life's challenges without resistance and to flow with the natural rhythm of our experiences. Mindfulness in everyday life. While mindfulness is often associated with meditation, it's something we can integrate into every aspect of our daily lives. It's not about escaping the world or retreating from our responsibilities. Instead, it's about being fully present in whatever we do. For example, when we're walking, we can bring our attention to each step, feeling our feet connect with the ground, noticing the movement of our body. When we're eating, we can pay attention to the flavors, textures, and sensations of the food. When we're having a conversation, we can listen with full attention, truly hearing what the other person is saying without getting distracted by our own thoughts or judgments. Mindfulness in everyday life isn't about making grand changes or big gestures. It's about slowing down and being present with the simplest, most ordinary tasks. When we live with mindfulness, we begin to experience life as it truly is, without distraction or distortion. This presence is where the beauty of life lies. It's not in the future, or the
Create a
past, or in
5-minute
achieving
calming
something.
meditation music
It's
with
in this
soft
very moment. Mindfulness and
ambient
joy,
sounds,
discovering the beauty in the
including
ordinary.
gentle to
One of the
dancing
most
and
beautiful
bowls,
gifts of mindfulness is its
rain
ability to
sounds,
unlock joy in the ordinary.
and soothing
When we are
chimes.
present, we become attuned to
The
the small
tempo should
moments
be
that make
slow
up our
and
lives.
consistent,
The sound of
with
laughter,
natural
the
sound
color of the
effects
sky, the feeling of
to
the wind on
create
our
a
face.
peaceful
These are the moments
atmosphere.
that we often overlook in our busy, distracted lives. But when we slow down and pay attention, they become the source of true happiness. In Buddhism, there's a saying, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Mindfulness helps us realize that happiness doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from the way we choose to experience the world. When we live with full awareness, we begin to see that every moment is an opportunity for joy, for peace, and for connection. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to find beauty in the simplest things, and this shifts our entire experience of life. We begin to appreciate what we have, rather than constantly yearning for more. We realize that joy is not a destination to reach, but a quality of presence that we can cultivate in every moment. Mindfulness and compassion, the heart of Buddhist practice. Another key aspect of mindfulness is its deep connection to compassion. As we become more aware of our own experiences, our thoughts, our feelings, our struggles, we naturally become more compassionate toward others. Mindfulness helps us to see others as they truly are, without judgment or expectation. We begin to understand that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges, and just like us, they deserve kindness and understanding. In Buddhist practice, compassion is not just a feeling, it's a way of living. It's about seeing others suffering and responding with empathy, not from a place of pity, but from a place of shared humanity. Mindfulness opens our hearts to others, allowing us to respond with care,
Create a
rather than
5-minute
reacting out
calming
of frustration
meditation
or
music
fear.
with soft
By cultivating mindfulness and
ambient
compassion,
sounds,
we create a virtuous
including
cycle.
gentle to
The more
dancing
present and
bowls,
compassionate we are, the more
rain
peace and
sounds,
joy we experience. And this
and
peace
soothing
radiates outward,
chimes.
touching the lives of
The
those around
tempo
us.
should be slow
Through
and
mindfulness,
consistent,
we can help heal the
with
world,
natural
one
sound
moment,
effects
one person
to
at a
create a
time.
peaceful
Mindfulness and the
atmosphere.
path to inner freedom. Ultimately, mindfulness is about returning to our true selves. It's about freeing ourselves from the distractions, fears, and attachments that cloud our vision. By being present with what is, we can find freedom in the present moment. We stop chasing after happiness, stop running from discomfort, and stop resisting life as it is. Mindfulness is the path to inner freedom, the freedom to be fully alive, fully engaged, and fully at peace with ourselves and the world. When we practice mindfulness, we begin to see that everything we need is already here, in the present moment. True happiness isn't something we acquire, it's something we awaken to. It's the awareness that peace, joy, and freedom are not distant goals, but present realities, waiting for us to notice. Final thoughts. Buddhism teaches us that nothing is wasted, that every moment holds the potential for transformation. Whether we're experiencing joy or sorrow, success or failure, peace or conflict, each experience is an opportunity for growth. The teachings of impermanence, karma, attachment, and mindfulness invite us to live with greater awareness and compassion, to transform our suffering into wisdom, and to find meaning and peace in every moment. As we embrace these teachings, we begin to see that life isn't something to be controlled or feared, but something to be experienced fully with an open heart and mind. Through mindfulness, we can transform our world, and in doing so, transform ourselves. So let's walk this path together, one step, one breath, one moment at a time. If you found this journey of discovery inspiring and insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll join our community where we explore the profound wisdom of Buddhism and how to apply it to our everyday lives. Don't miss out on future videos that can help you transform your mindset, find inner peace, and live a more meaningful life. Hit the bell icon so you're the first to know when new content is available. Let's continue this path together, one step at a time. Thank you for being here.